Hey everybody, and welcome to an experimental episode of Let's Play FrogComposband. Still, Ayali, the hydra. I might be in a slightly different position here, location, than where I last left off. Or did I teleport to this town? In preparation for what I was planning to do. I'm already forgetting. God damn it. Or did I actually... Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the thing is, this is not happening in real time. I'm actually, I think for the first time ever, recording post-commentary over a pre-recorded video. And I literally just recorded it too. So I thought things would still be relatively fresh in my memory, but I suppose the beginning of this run was a little while ago. Well, I took a bit of a break in between as well, but yeah. I'm just showing off various things here, and I thought, I'd show these off and then commentate over it, I suppose. But, of course, I spent so much time with introductions that past me is already way ahead of me. So, yeah, this is just a video. I can just, jump back to the beginning. The reason I'm doing it like this was, the next thing I was planning to do wasn't going to be the most exciting thing, and I wasn't sure if anything interesting would even happen, or on the other hand, whether I might just end up dying relatively quickly. And I was torn between just recording another episode where not a whole lot might be going on, and not a whole lot of progress might be made, or just playing, continuing to play the character on my own time, not recording. But then, of course, if anything interesting were to happen, that would suck as well, because I would like to have that on camera, of course. So, I was a bit torn, and I decided to try something new, I suppose. So I was basically playing on my own time, listening to some music, hence why I just muted this. And, I figured if nothing interesting happened, might as well just skip the entire thing and just continue where I might leave off. Or, if anything interesting happens, like, beating any interesting bosses or the character dying, I would still have footage of it and could use that. So it turns out, well, no spoilers, I suppose. A couple of interesting things did happen, because, of course, given the nature of the game, that's always going to be the case. And I guess I have the option to just skip some of the less exciting sections and, pause my recording of my voiceover of the video, skip ahead a little bit to where something interesting is about to happen, and we'll see how that goes. As I said, I've never actually done anything like this. So, right. I guess here I'm already ready to move on. Now, the thing is, though, so what I did do, I'm showing off my character here for the third time now. I'm sorry. You might have already spotted a couple of things while I was waffling away. So first I'm showing my inventory, just so you can take a look, I suppose. Let's see here. Next, I am looking at my equipment and at some items in specific. I guess I can actually go ahead and pause. Golden Crown of Telepathy. So, the thing is, I went back to this place and checked the local library, and it turned out that they actually greater identify items here for only 2,200 or so. So, quite a bit cheaper than the other place, and I decided to just go ahead and fully research the items that I did not have fully researched. So I know everything about those various items. And right, so the Crown of Telepathy does not actually give telepathy. I suppose we knew that, because we don't have the little telepathy indicator as a buff at the bottom of the screen while wearing it. All it does is sense good and sense living. I suppose we knew... Did we identify the sense living? I suppose. And so the other thing that was missing was sense good. Yeah, I guess it's not always going to be the same thing. Some enemies might be one or the other. Either way, it's not the most exciting thing, but I decided to keep it for the time being. Let's see here. Next thing we have the yeah, Iron Helm of Domination. I mean, it mostly provides some okay armor. The charisma isn't really going to do much for me. We already have another source of resist fear, so that's just doubling up on that and sustaining charisma as well. But yeah, nothing too exciting. Definitely something to replace with something better. I mean, both the telepathy crown and the helmet could be replaced. The Defender Amulet, I suppose, that's the one that I had been using for a while, but I guess that was also not completely identified. I think we didn't have all three of those resistances identified before. Free action, I think that was also new, or maybe that was the one that was missing. Because I'm pretty sure I have, at this point I have 2 layers of free action, so that's nice. And see invisible, I think we also have multiple sources for that. I'm going to, as you saw, I'm going to check my character sheet in a moment. Moving on to the Cloak of Memory, and this is the interesting one. Because I was a little bit torn, right, whether I should equip it with the minus to strength. But you might see there, it resists confusion. So that of course changes things. I had been looking for that specifically, and it turned out that this cloak actually had it all along. I just didn't auto-identify it for some reason. I suppose it's just one of those things that you only identify as you get hit by the status effect while wearing it, which I didn't, surprisingly enough. But yeah, turns out it gives extra dex, speed, stealth searching, all nice. Minus to strength, which might or might not be mostly made up for by the extra to hit and to damage. I don't know. It didn't seem to really hurt my damage too much. But yeah, since this is the only thing that provides confusion resistance right now, obviously I'm definitely using it. Yeah. And now I'm looking at the character sheet. Superb at melee, I don't know if that's new, but yeah, there you go. Resistances still missing cold, but we do have 1 layer, which is only 30%, unfortunately, for these more advanced yeah, attributes or elements and special conditions, special attacks. It's not 50% for a single instance of resistance, but only 30, maybe even less for some of those particularly nasty ones, I don't know. But yeah, 30% confusion resistance. As it turns out though, even having any sort of resistance is already amazing. I mean, obviously there's a huge difference between 0 and 30%, but also, not only does it help prevent confusion in the first place, but it makes it makes it usually run out so much faster, in my experience, the couple of times that I got confused over the course of this run, or well, this episode. Anyway, anything else? Yeah, speed. 2 instances of free action for good measure, I suppose. 2 extra perma lights. Well, light radius basically. Some bonus to stealth and searching, of course. Yeah. Right, only 1 instance of see invisible, but I mean that's enough. I don't know if I'm looking at anything else here. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Nope. Yeah, I guess with that, we're ready to move forward. I'm just looking at my quests here. Oh yeah, so I just randomly checked with the Fighters Guild here and asked for a quest again, where previously they wouldn't give me one, but now they did, a level 30 quest. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't give me that until I was higher level, I suppose. But now I have the Troll Slayer quest. That's the one that asks you to go to the Troll Caves, which is the level 20 dungeon, or level 18. I think it starts at level 18. That is somewhat nearby. And yeah, kill 10 Ologs there. I haven't fought any Ologs yet, and it's a level 30 quest, obviously. That I'm saving that one for later. Right. Yeah, here I moved just south, just 3 or 4 tiles south, to the entrance of the Tidal Cave. Right, just some random enemies along the way. Okay, first floor. Oh yeah. We have one of those magic mushroom patches. I remember those being a bit of an annoyance occasionally. They teleport around and they prevent you from casting spells, and they can just be a general nuisance. However, it turns out that, well, first of all, they're not immune to... Well, they're not immune to poison, and also, even though we are currently prevented from casting spells, apparently invoking my poison cloud or stinking cloud spell, because it's an ability, does not get affected by that. So I was able to actually use that and shoot it, and yeah. And now I'm just starting to do basically what I'm going to continue doing on every floor. Usually just start by mapping and sensing monsters, and then just hunting everything down, just as you do. So nothing too special going on here, just some orcs. I'm trying to remember if anything noteworthy happened on the first floor. I suppose what I could always do is just pause recording, skip ahead a little bit to see if anything interesting is about to happen. Because for now it's just going to be, well, what you're seeing here. Nothing too exciting. Get some... Right, we do have our limited telepathy that only applies to 2 categories of monster. I see those cues there. Those are, at least the early ones that you encounter, tend to be mostly bears, especially when they're in packs like this. So I'm guessing that it's some kind of bear. And I think that is what it is, in fact. I've made my way around. Oh, okay, right. I was going to start searching for a door, and then they actually opened the door there. Conveniently. And they're warbears. Right. Yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to try this thing I just talked about, see if I can find something interesting, the next instance of something interesting happening here. And that's not what I meant to do. I paused the wrong thing. That's fine. Okay, and, well, something interesting, I suppose, happens here. We're about to get level feeling, and it's immediately a boring place, and obviously we started at the somewhat lowish level of 15, so I figured I'd just skip ahead immediately instead of wasting more time on that uneventful floor. And, well, immediately here we discover Wormtongue, Agent of Saruman. Typically, or often a pretty annoying enemy to encounter early. I think he might be... I don't know if he's invisible, but he likes to teleport around, he casts spells, so I don't know exactly what he does. We might be about to find out or get reminded again. I think he's also a thief. Well, okay, right. He shoots frostbolts. Oh yeah, frostbolts are, well, gonna continue to be a thing, as well as certain other sources of item destruction. Look forward to that, I suppose. Yeah, we lost a curing potion. Well, a healing potion and a curing potion. I do sense him via telepathy, so I thought I'd wait here behind the door, but unfortunately he's just pacing back and forth. Does not want to actually come to me to open the door. I don't know. I mean, I suppose the AI must either know where I am, or it's just programmed to assume that the player is waiting for them. I don't know. It feels like it's cheating, because unless this guy specifically also can sense where I am, which he might, I don't know, he's a spellcaster. Yeah, there, I lose more stuff. I did start berserking and sped myself up to just, run up to him. Unfortunately, he did still get a spell off, but yeah, he died easily enough. Okay, we get a barbarian talisman. Potions of restore life levels, which I think I decide to leave. Yeah. Well, of course I don't know exactly what my reasoning might have been. I guess I decided to take the amulet with me, just in case. Not because it was going to be useful, but for selling purposes, usually. You know, the usual reasons. Greed. Oh, a set of gauntlets of free action? Yeah, well... Again, obviously not for me, being handless, but... Alright, and here I was trying to map more of the dungeon, and I briefly wondered why it failed so much. Then I noticed that I was still berserking somehow. I just didn't think it would last that long. There it ran out, but also it turned out that that was just a tiny little room. Well, I guess I can probably skip ahead a little bit again. Don't know if there's anything else particularly noteworthy happening on this floor, but I'll let you know if that is actually the case. Okay, we're just a little bit later on the same floor here, and I just found a scroll of enchant armor, and figured why not use it, even though I think I'm at the limit. Like, everything's as highly enchanted as it will be. Yeah, and it failed. Well, it was worth a shot, I suppose. I was trying to... Oh, okay, here I got the level feeling of you don't like the look of this place, which of course often means that things are going to get interesting. Or that there's at least something somewhat interesting left on the floor, usually an elite. So I decided to stick around. Just shooting some things in the dark. Right, these are just enemies that I detected before. Right, hippogriffs. Relatively beefy creatures that can hit kind of hard, but otherwise no special abilities. And we see a pack of hounds over there. I don't know if I identified them. Some flats of oil in a pile of rubble. Okay. I think they might be clear hounds? No, they're actually shadow hounds. Yeah, of course. Right. Right, so I did stop to identify them before just barging in. Briefly waiting for them to come out, which of course they don't. But they managed to somehow breathe, use their breath attack around those two corners. I really don't know how that works. I swear if I tried something like that, I would definitely not get a line of sight on my enemy, but sure. Yeah. Anyway, Darkness Breath is not the worst. It blinds you momentarily, but since I was able to actually sense them with my sense living, I guess even though they're some kind of magical creatures, they're still considered living beings. I was basically able to see them even while blinded, so I was able to attack them and take care of them quite easily. Here we got a large open cavern with a bunch of random loot distributed. Green mold, yeah, can frighten, but we're quite resistant to that, so no reason not to just melee them. Ring of Combat, other circumstances might be decent, although this one mostly gives hit chance and only a little bit of damage, so not the most exciting one, but I figured, well, might as well take it and potentially sell it. Oh yeah, there I walked up to this unstable worm mass. I don't know why I forgot that those are the ones that explode, but it didn't deal any damage, so... And the level is suddenly reasonably safe. So what caused that uneasy feeling before? Who knows? Also here, I guess I'm... Yeah. I just got hungry, but I decided not to eat immediately because, you know, I might find a ration. And then I briefly see the Goomba, thinking it might be food, but it's just a Goomba because I didn't notice immediately that it showed up in the monster list. And yeah. And then I figured, you know, I have a decent amount of whey bread at this point. Might as well just go ahead and eat. Right. I don't know why I'm still sticking around. Oh, right. I was looking for a shaft. That's why. Because, you know, I figured I'd do basically the same thing as I did in the previous dungeon. Make my way to level 20 relatively quickly and then start going level by level from there. So yeah, I skipped ahead a little bit to level 19 here. We got some things identified, some Hellcats. But yeah, nothing too scary. I'm not entirely sure what this gibbering mouther can do, but slime creatures, you know, anything that's spelled with a lowercase j can potentially be quite dangerous, or at the very least quite annoying. I might be foreshadowing something here, but yeah, decided to take it safe, and play it safe, and just take it out the range attacks, even though it took a couple. And since I'm not entirely sure, once again, if anything interesting is going to happen on this floor in particular, I am once again going to just pause recording and scout ahead. Okay, actually, hardly any later than I just left off. Yeah, we have a moon beast here, which can confuse, but just as a demonstration, I suppose. Yeah, I get unconfused like 3 turns later and killed it very quickly, and that's where I started thinking, oh yeah, that's, even if it's just 30% confusion resistance, that's definitely making a difference. I mean, obviously it does. I don't know how long it would have taken without it, of course, for that particular confusion effect to run out. I'm sure they come in different strengths depending on the enemy who casts it, but yeah, that definitely felt much more benign than previous instances of confusion, so definitely felt like I made the right call there with with keeping the cloak. Also, I don't know, I think I picked up this rod. I must have picked up this rod of detect doors and stairs a little earlier. I don't know, this floor, previous floor, I don't know, and decided to keep that because you know, it's a useful thing to have, and it will actually come in handy a couple of times because I am bad at searching, even with Mary's cloak on. You know, when I know there's a secret door in front of me, for example, I can just use that to immediately identify it. Then instead of just standing there like an idiot, I can just open it, you know? Oh, right. You feel there's something special about this level. That's the first time on this character, and in fact, even since starting to play these roguelikes again a little while ago, that yeah, that I got that particular feeling. I had forgotten that that was a thing, and pretty sure that just means that there is an artifact item, a named unique item somewhere on this floor. So I don't know if that's the only thing that can cause that feeling, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it wouldn't be caused by a special enemy, I guess. Anyway, so obviously we're sticking around until we find whatever that's all about. Fought a hippocampus enemy there for the first time. Well, I always thought that was a part of the brain, but what do I know? Okay, yeah, and here's some sort of treasure cavern, I guess. Kind of hoping, I'm walking toward the amulet first there, hoping that that might be the artifact. But no, I guess it's the hard leather cap of Sam, and I guess we just started collecting Hobbit equipment now. That one, of course, is potentially useful to us, being a piece of headgear. I mean, did we actually identify a little bit? I guess. Yeah, we did. I mean, okay, we don't know anything about its special effects. We know that it improves fighting a little bit, and it has, you know, basically, yeah, pretty average defense values for a leather cap. Decently enchanted, but it's obviously not going to be amazingly protective. But yeah, looking forward to fully identifying that once this little expedition here is over. Right, and I suppose at this point we have what was special about this level, so I could just leave. I guess I'm waiting for the level feeling to update to see if there's anything else worthwhile. Meanwhile, we got a... yeah. Got this this little set of rooms here. That's definitely a dungeon set piece that I've seen a couple of times, with these differently sized rooms all connected with doors, and I don't know, they sometimes tend to have slightly unusual enemies. Right, we're also facing a gelatinous cube. That's definitely one of those unusual enemies. Definitely not very common to find, especially not at this depth, I would say. It's definitely, I mean, it's tough for me because obviously I don't want to fight these in melee. They like to dissolve your stuff, and they're immune or just very resistant to both poison and acid. Both of my range attack options. So yeah, that's just a bit unfortunate. It touches, I'm dissolved. The golden crown. What does it say? It's unaffected though. Okay, yeah, I think this one does not actually disenchant me. The good thing about them, of course, is that they explode into a bunch of loot, but yeah, nothing particularly amazing in there, I think. Anyway, I continue to just you know, finish off the enemies in here. A red mold, I think that might be the first of its kind that we encounter. Or is it? Not sure. Anyway, I don't trust it, and I decide to blast it. I also killed that ghost earlier. This thing does take damage from Stinking Cloud, so it's just a matter of time. Ah, there's the ghost again. Green glutton ghost, yeah, okay. I wanted to take that one out before it had a chance to eat my food. Even though, you know, we're not in danger of running out of food and starving. But obviously we would like to eat it ourselves. Apparently there was a sleeping slime mold in this room. Ah. Oh yeah, and I had previously detected this jumping fireball via, you know, sense monsters, detect monsters. But I had completely forgotten that it was in that particular room, so I opened the door and immediately blew up in my face and destroyed something? Yeah, one scroll of recall, but you know, we have plenty of those. So, not a problem, just a bit annoyed that I forgot about that thing, and I guess if I had remembered, I probably still would have opened the door, knowing myself. But really, I should have just, you know, left it closed. Anyway, we're at level 19. I suppose I'm considering looking for a shaft to skip right to level 21. I don't know if I'm going to do that or if I'll just add to some stairs. Yeah, no idea why I'm hesitating here. But I guess this is a good time to probably pause again, unless I'm, dude, I don't know. Past me, what are you doing? I think I'm looking for stairs. Oh no, I think I'm going to continue exploring actually, because I see that the dungeon continues to the west there. There are some doors that I haven't taken. So I figured, right, okay, there also is a black naga there. Of course, I cannot walk past an enemy without slaying it. So I do that, and yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, so I was looking for a shaft actually, which I had not found so far. So I figured maybe there's gonna be one, you know, in the unexplored third of the dungeon or so. So I kept looking over here with no success, unfortunately. But there is some random loot. More words of recall, for example. We do have an excessive amount of them, but of course, as we can see, we're not completely immune to having them destroyed by things. Okay. Finally some more mapping, and there is, as it turns out, quite a bit more to this dungeon. Attack monsters. A single buzzy beetle, right? Not a whole lot going on. And I don't think I detected any new stairs, unfortunately. But I guess at this point I figured I might as well just finish exploring this place. Oh, I didn't notice the moaning spirit there right away, but slew it, and that one was the one that gave me level 26. Nice. No stats. Just quickly check if anything immediately changed. If I gained any new abilities. I think my what's it called? Regeneration went up just a little bit. I think it was at exactly 400 before, right? Now it's 404%. I guess probably not really a big deal. Damage seems to be the same. So, yeah. An elemental amulet I decide to pick up just in case. I guess I'm still looking for a source of cold protection, right? Oh, and there's the shaft I was looking for this whole time. How convenient. And with that, we're at level 21. As I said, we're going to start going carefully level by level from here. No particularly interesting enemies. Maybe the orc warlock there that actually ended up opening a door I didn't know about and coming after me. I was going to make my way around to where it used to be. Right, meanwhile I killed this green mold and the orc came up to me. Oh, and of course I managed to curse one of my items before I proceeded to slay it. Yeah, that's just gonna be a thing. You just gotta suck it up. I mean, I guess I could take a stack of remove curse scrolls with me, because things will get cursed. It's just, it happens on every single expedition at this point. There are so many enemies that curse you. But also, typically the curses don't seem to be too bad. I suppose, I mean, unless you fully identify an item that's been cursed, you don't really know what the curses are. If they don't happen to be, you know, things that just become immediately apparent, like, you know, when the item starts draining your devices, or what was that? Oh, found a trap. Yeah, draining your devices or attracting enemies suddenly. But yeah. Anyway, I could do that. I could carry remove curse scrolls, but of course I don't. Anyway, as usual, we're obviously looking around here, trying to get a feeling for the level. Don't like the look of this place. Okay, so there is something maybe worthwhile. Do I remember what it was? Of course not. But I think I'll pause real quick here and update you when anything happens. Oh, hey, fire vortex. Yeah, kill that one before it blows up in your face. Good call. Okay, a little bit later. So I just walked down this corridor and the moaning spirit suddenly attacks you. I don't see a moaning spirit. Do you? It doesn't show up anywhere, but apparently it attacked me. I'm a little bit confused. I just tried to walk forward and apparently it was right there. Another instance of not seeing an invisible enemy despite being, you know, able to see invisible enemies. So yeah, not sure what's up with that, but it did die and drop me some food and a set of studded leather gloves of a thief, which I guess I figure might be worth picking up and taking with me for selling, but obviously my inventory is already full. So yeah. Anyway, I dropped the barbarian talisman that only gives +1 protection because I know that's not going to be worth much, and we move on. In the meantime, I think the only thing that happened literally since I paused was I killed a demonette that managed to destroy one of my curing potions with a frostball. Right, and here we have a Shadower. Don't know how dangerous those are, but I know they are a relatively high-level creature. But I suppose I decide to just take a chance. Wait, oh, I kind of missed it. What did I do? Hold on. You attacked the Shadower? Oh, I just killed it. Right, yeah, okay. So it ended up not being very tough at all. I leave those potions of serious wounds because, yeah, we want critical wounds. Okay, a cursed elemental amulet. I decide to leave that. I really wonder why the Mogaminator is set to leave certain cursed items. Or, rather, yeah, why it doesn't auto-destroy certain types of cursed equipment. But, I mean, I suppose with things like... Yeah. Well, cursed ego items will usually have a mix of positive and negative enchantments. And you might decide that it's worth, the negatives are outweighed by the positives in certain cases. So, yeah, fair enough, I suppose. Just leave it to the player to just not take it. Anyway, yeah, we've just killed a bunch of Skavens, which tend to drop a lot of loot and are very weak. So, at first I thought, when I saw all those R's, that there was a swarm of just giant rats multiplying. But it's not that type of rat. It's a much better type of rat, actually. Yeah, anyway, Berserked, which I certainly did not need to do to deal with those. I also didn't really get any good loot out of it. Bunch of bad potions, I think. Here we have another stack of stuff. Just destroying a bunch of uninteresting items. And detect invisible. I figure I might as well just read one, just in case. Didn't detect anything, though. What actually is the level feeling at this point? Oh, pink horrors. Right, yeah. The first time we see those in this run. I think I might have checked the level feeling not too long ago and it was still, still had a bad feeling about the level, so I knew there was something slightly dangerous still around. And I'm pretty sure it was mostly these things. They, yeah. The pink horrors split into 2 blue horrors when they die. But they're all quite harmless. So, no big deal at all. That is a gazer that, yeah, I know we've killed one of those before at least. So I just run up and kill it. Easy enough. Get some more pink horrors here. Or one, maybe. Yeah. Oh, right. The Staff of Cure Wounds. Which at first I thought, didn't really... I was about to dismiss it, but then I noticed that that it was automatically inscribed with a bunch of stuff, and the game really wanted to pick it up. And so, yeah. I ended up taking it, and I dropped the Cloak of Protection, which is, just a cloak with some extra armor. Despite it being an ego, it's probably the weakest or most common, at least valuable type of ego. So I dropped that one. It was not going to be worth much. And I check out this Cure Wounds staff, and, well, I mean, it's a staff. Duh. Has a bunch of charges, and it heals and cures cuts. And I figure, yep, that's a a good source of healing to have around. The game apparently considers this pretty valuable, and it describes it with a bunch of protection. Yeah, destruction prevention, I suppose. I guess there I considered. No, I guess I briefly considered taking the shaft because it was right there, but no. We'll take it slow. I'm just moving to some sort of regular stairs. Yeah, and also the staff conveniently gets inscribed to always use the letter U, so you can just double tap U to heal quickly. Very convenient. Alright, and I just happened to run into another elemental amulet with some unknown property, so I guess I check real quick here if there's any chance for me to actually want to use one of those. But then I figure I don't really know how many additional resistances it might have, for example. So it could potentially be good, I guess. But I don't think I've actually seen one that has more than 2 resistances, so unlikely to really be that good. Oh hey, some wargs. Nice to just run in here and slaughter them without any kind of effort, without them being able to put up any kind of resistance. After my first hydra, as you might remember, having been killed by wargs on that warg quest. Feels like forever ago. Well, probably because it was. Well. Anyway, yeah. Off to the next floor, level 22. And we start out in a pretty interesting little layout here. Bunch of interconnected little rooms with some, well, not super interesting enemies. An owlbear, I suppose, that I just slaughtered without even really realizing. Right, we got some white worm masses here that I take out quickly, of course. Meanwhile, we do have some lice, I believe, multiplying in that room there. And I decide that I want to find the entrance and kill those things. And I spent quite a bit of time searching around the outside here, just not in the correct place, as it turns out. Because I failed to notice that, it's this subsection of the dungeon is symmetrical, of course, so yeah, and that's where I noticed that the door is there on the other side, so it's going to be here, and yeah. Then I go ahead and release the lice. Was it a mistake? No, not really. At this point we can deal with them. I mean, honestly, even at level 1 we would have been able to deal with those particular lice. Potion of weakness, nice. Wonderful. Okay, and here I think that maybe the entrance to that room is up there, but or maybe on the side? Where could it be? No, turns out that it's right there. I just never actually looked in that place. And it's actually just a green mold, so not really much of a reason to kill it, except that I just can't help myself. I have to insist on killing absolutely everything that I possibly can. Radiation eye. I don't trust that thing, so I think I just blast it and it instantly dies. Confirming that those are actually really weak. But, as I sometimes say, better safe than sorry. I often say and sometimes actually act upon it. Like Dragonfly was still asleep, I think. Not sure what it might have done. Probably breathed shadow, I suppose. So, not really more than a minor inconvenience either way. Do we have a level feeling? I don't think we do. Maybe? I don't know. No, we do. I just missed it. But Apparently it's good enough to actually stick around. Or so I thought. Well, we do have a bunch of enemies here in another special little room layout. Yeah, there tend to be a lot of those handcrafted little, you know, dungeon subsections. But it's just novice warriors in there. Poor guys. Anyway, yeah, I'll just pause until something interesting happens again. And ironically, a moment after I said that, I get reminded that it's actually a boring place, and I immediately take the stairs down. So, oh yeah, here we start out right next to an archvile, which we know is a bit nasty, and a lizard king, which I think might be relatively tough. We haven't faced one of those yet on this character or in any recent runs, so not entirely sure how scared to be of the thing. Trying to decide how to handle this archvile. The other enemies are currently sleeping, but that thing is not. I guess being a demon. Well, some demons can be sleeping. I don't know. Either way, I think. Well, let's see what I end up doing. Okay, I decided to just berserk and rush forward. Yeah, probably a good call. It did throw a fireball, but didn't destroy anything. And yeah, I killed all of those things very quickly, actually, as it turns out. There is an aquatic golem, which I didn't notice at first, but then I decided to just hack away, and that worked out just fine. Pack overflows. Oh yeah, a broadsword of pattern. I'm making room for it because, well, ego weapons tend to be worth a decent amount. So what do we drop? Looking at all of those amulets and thinking that, you know, they're very unlikely to actually be good. I mean, good as in something that I want to use. But I'm not entirely sure, and I have no way of actually finding out. I think I might be dropping that Ring of Combat because it's just that. It's gonna sell for, you know, a couple hundred maybe, or maybe even over 1,000. Yeah, I end up dropping that one. Oh yeah, and I decided to try my Wand of Curing for the first time. Kind of forgetting that I'm still berserking, so it, you know, I had trouble actually getting it to work. Obviously I didn't need the healing, but I figured I might learn something about it, and I did learn something. Yeah, either way. By the time I managed to get it to work while berserking, I was already regenerated. Anyway. Yeah, we map and we detect. Oh yeah, we see a poleaxe of animated attack. Not an enemy that I remember seeing before, but I must have seen it. I mean, years ago when I last played the game, but definitely not recently. And it sounds kind of bad. Sounds like it might be a worse version of those death swords. But it can actually move. I open the door and it's right in my face, but then I one-shot it and it turns out that it was not actually all that bad. Okay, a random trap that I disarm for some reason. Ooh, here we have weirs, right. I was approaching these thinking that there might be more wargs, but nope. Actually some sort of hybrid creatures. But turns out that I think I one-shot every single one of them, so even though these are the first of their kind that I encounter, they're obviously not so bad. And then I also killed this Quasit, which I don't know if I had actually faced one of those before, but it's just a minor demon, so nothing too special here. We find another rod of door and stair location, which I decide to leave because obviously one is enough. But I am holding on to the one, to the one that I have for the time being. Alright, I get randomly teleported up there. I mean, all the same to me, honestly. We have an unusual, large, very square-shaped, water-filled room up there. With almost nothing inside, though. Yeah, a single Dark Naga. Although that one turns out to be pretty tough, I think. Yeah. I mean, anything that takes multiple rounds to kill at this point is definitely noteworthy. Mushroom of Confusion. Yummy. Don't like the look of this place. Okay, there we got the level feeling. Not a scroll, unfortunately, just a useless spellbook. Okay, we map and we eat something. I guess we can detect monsters. A blue dragon bat. A Skaven shaman somewhere. I don't actually remember if I went after that one. Yeah, nothing. Didn't detect anything that would be causing that level feeling though, so... Oh hey, there's a bunch of hounds. Maybe those did? I don't know. I decided to wait it out here. They are just clear hounds though. I don't think they can even do anything. Normally they're invisible, so if you can't deal with that, they might be a little bit annoying at worst. But yeah. I think they might actually be the only type of hound that does not have a breath attack. And obviously that's what makes most of them so annoying, if not just outright dangerous. Oh yeah, Vampiric Mist. First time we encounter one of those out in the dungeon. We have a quest that has a ton of those and similar mist type enemies, and I figure, you know, it's good to have a to gather some combat experience against them, see how tough they are, and it does not appear like they're particularly tough. I mean, I guess technically they can probably drain life, but in practice I destroy them so quickly that they don't really get a chance. Okay, here, yeah, I noticed that there's an unusual amount of rubble forming this little enclosure, so that's definitely a special little set piece with a carrion inside. Okay, I mean, we fought a bunch of those before. They're tough, but not particularly dangerous, and especially not capable of, inflicting any long-term negative effects, so I just tunnel through and kill it. Decide to go back to check out this room here, just in case. There could be something nice inside. No such luck this time. And then I do not actually walk around the, that rubble ring. Even though there could absolutely be an item there as well. Pretty unlikely though. Anyway, just moving forward. Oh, our first non-novice Minecrafter, and he goes down just as quickly as the novices do. Drop a Staff of Identify. Yeah, obviously we don't need an extra one of those. And we got some blink dogs. Mostly just an annoyance, because they blink around, and I think they also teleported me, right? Either way, not particularly bad. But here's a stack of 6 Scrolls of Enchant Armor, and I'm fairly certain that I cannot enchant anything that I currently have because it's all at the max level, but I try it on my Crown of Might, and it actually enchanted it from +7 to +8. So I figure, okay, either the maximum has been raised, or it's just it's just not as likely to succeed. But since I now have seen that it is indeed possible, I just continue using them, trying to raise the other items. I guess I keep trying on Mary's cloak. Try to get that, give that an extra level of armor, but no such luck. So yeah, I don't know why it's possible. I guess there's just a small chance. Oh yeah, here we have a scroll mimic. First time I've encountered of those. And it seems to be, well, it is susceptible to poison, but then eventually it shoots me and blinds me, and I decide to just walk in and kill it. Anyway, enchantment chance. I mean, the services in town that enchant your stuff, they just have a hard limit. They will not enchant anything past a certain point based on your level. But apparently there is a small chance, it looks like, since we only succeeded 1 out of 6 times. But there is a chance for it to still work, to apply more enchantment levels if you use the scroll yourself. So there's that, I suppose. Oh, we got some bear type enemies. Yep, war bears, right? Mad bears, actually. Oh. Not sure if we've the level feeling. I can never quite tell. I mean, I know looking at the name of the current floor that you're on, that will appear in different colors based on the current level feeling. It starts out dark gray while you don't have a feeling about it yet. But the difference between you don't like the look of this place and boring, or even reasonably safe, is very light gray and white. And looking at it now, I think it might still be very light gray, so not boring yet. But I'm not entirely sure. No longer full, found a trap. Oh yeah, and I was convinced that this had to be a secret door, but nope, unfortunately not connected to the rest of the dungeon at all. In fact, it's a very long way around, but yeah, what can you do? No, I no longer have any digging implements with me, and I decided not to just tunnel through that, but to just walk around, take the long way. Keep walking into walls for some reason, I don't know. What's up with that? Like, I'm starting to get a little bit tired, but, you know, it's what it is. Oh, that was the Skaven Shaman. I eventually did get to him. Just took me a moment. Right. Unfortunately, no items in this little mini vault. Surely we can leave the place though, right? There's not going to be anything interesting here. Well, I guess I decide to hunt down those zombies. Oh, and then we actually encounter something a little bit tough here. A Black Knight, and behind him a Disenchanter Beast, which I absolutely do not like the look of, or the sound of. I'm trying to blast it with something. Yeah, I remember that I picked up this lightning rod a while ago and never actually tried it, so I do now, and while it works, it does not really do a whole lot. Yeah, so I decided to just take out this Black Knight, and then there's the Disenchanter Beast, and I blast it with everything I have, but it's just not taking a ton of damage. It's just a pretty tough thing. Unfortunately, it's taking a little bit of damage, but it's... yeah, it resists everything to some extent, and it just has a lot of hit points. I keep shooting it until it's right next to me, and I just attack. It attempts to drain psychic energy from me, surprisingly. And yeah, it never actually seemed to try to disenchant me, which is you know, what I expected it would do first and foremost. Maybe I just got lucky with that one. I don't know. But, you know, I'll take it. Oh, and then, yeah, we run into an actual elite here. Nar the Dwarf. Don't know how tough this guy is, but he strikes me as probably mostly just a melee character. He confuses though, but yeah, again, that ran out after just a turn or two, maybe literally after one turn. And he takes a lot of damage and he dies, just like that. Might have been nastier without any confusion resistance, but yeah, as I keep saying, just those 30% make a big difference, or at least it feels that way. Robe of Elemental Protection. Yeah, I mean, obviously we can't use that, so I decide not to bother with it. And I think we might just leave here. No? I guess I wait for the updated level feeling and just, yeah, clear out these last couple of rooms. Might as well at this point. Oh, right, yeah. And there are some other mist-type enemies, noxious fumes, that move very slowly and very erratically in and out of the walls. Pretty sure there should be a third one, but I just never ended up seeing that one again. It just wandered off into the wall and never returned. Okay, but surely now we're ready to leave, right? Yeah, of course we are. Level 24. What was the lowest level of the previous dungeon? Maybe it was 24. Ooh, look at that. Okay, immediately we see a billion enemies here, including a boss orc, of course, because there are just dozens of those. Bulkmeg, the Relentless. Yeah. I guess the only thing that I'm slightly worried about here are the energy hounds, because I'm not entirely sure how tough those are. And then, of course, I don't know how tough Bulkmeg himself is, but he's just surrounded by your typical assortment of orcs, nothing too scary looking. So I just approach. We got the energy hounds here, but I mean, I do have my electricity resistance, so I'm not too worried, and it turns out that, yeah, they never actually do anything. Got an icky thing there. The Sasquatch is approaching, but nothing too bad. There is some sort of jelly creature. I don't know exactly what it is, but I guess I decide to just blast it. Just in case. It resists, but it takes some damage. Not a whole lot. Still not seeing it. And, oh, okay, just as it died, I suppose I must have identified it as an ochre jelly, which I think we might not have even fought before, so, I don't know, maybe blasting it at a range was a good call. But speaking of which, yeah, I couldn't resist shooting a, you know, starting to shoot stinking clouds into that group of orcs there. And, yeah, it works reasonably well. And they disperse. A bunch of them actually die to it. Some decide to teleport closer to me and take them out. And yeah, generally I'm just enjoying, for once, being the one shooting enemies from very far out of the dark. Okay, I guess some of them have actually figured out where I am and start shooting back, but yeah. Okay, I retreat a little bit into the corridor. I see that they are approaching now, and I figure that the boss is probably going to be among them, so I wait until they're kind of close, start berserking, and yeah, just kill them. And there he is, Belt Mag, right next to me. I hit him once or twice, and he's already almost dead and running, and I hope to finish him off with that stinking cloud. And I did, actually. Did I? I think it took a second stinking cloud, but yeah, he died. He turned out not to be particularly tough. Yeah, monster points at me and curses. It's an orc shaman. They like to do that, and I guess... I think I was cursed before. Yeah, pretty sure I was. Either way, as I said, that's something that's basically unavoidable. I mean, I don't know, maybe it can be avoided. Maybe there are ways to actually give all of your equipment better curse resistance. Or maybe the only real way to deal with it is just to always have a source of curse removal at hand. Ring of Combat, that's a really bad one though, so definitely not taking that one with us. Potions of Sleep. Yeah, this confuses me, because the game does not auto-destroy that, even though it sounds like it would just be bad, so I wonder briefly, could there potentially be any kind of use to it, or is this maybe, does this make you regenerate quickly while you sleep or something? Is there some benefit to it? Doesn't seem like it though, it just says that it paralyzes you. That sounds just bad. So I destroyed. I should have auto-destroyed it. Should have set it to auto-destroy. But yeah, not quite sure what's up with that. I mean, there might just be some kind of actual use for those potions. Maybe you can somehow make enemies drink them, but I mean, why would it work with those but none of the other bad potions? Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, there was a cockatrice, and that's where I learned that cockatrices, even though they're animals, are also thieves. And yeah, they do explode into money when you kill them, but they also like to steal your stuff and then teleport away, apparently. And here I try literally dozens of times to open this door, and it won't open. How long until I actually give up and just kick the door down? Around... No, I'm still going. Okay, nope. Took me this long. Just about. Yeah. Right, just a couple more various enemies in here. Of course I can't resist. And I will hunt down those hounds. Oh hey, Death Sword. Didn't even see you there. But even these are not really much of a concern anymore at this point. Well, I say that, but actually, hold on, yeah. Oh, never mind. That actually did damage me a lot, yeah. I realized after the fact. I mean, I did one-shot it, but... yeah, I had taken over 100 damage, actually. That's kind of nuts. And I was bleeding, but... yeah. Then I use my healing staff for real this time. In the meantime, those cold hounds, as it turns out, have actually managed to find the secret doors and open them. And I'm momentarily worried about having, you know, my stuff shattered to bits, but surprisingly enough, none of them actually breathed frost. And the dragonfly thing was just a poison one, which, of course, poison we're basically immune to. Well, not immune, but very resistant, so no danger there. There's the cockatrice back. And this time we kill it. And we get its money. Slimy jelly. Yeah, I think this might be another ochre jelly, like the one we killed previously, but yeah, it's actually a different one. as I might notice eventually, and then I just decide to... Well, it's resisting everything, so I figure, you know, screw it, just walk up to it, probably one-shot it, hope that it doesn't do anything nasty before it dies. And it didn't. I suppose that's the one positive to those lowercase j's. The only ones that are both super dangerous and also take very long to kill tend to be the gelatinous cubes. So far, at least. I mean, I suppose so far we have encountered exactly one of those. Thankfully, early on there. Few and far between. Although, I mean, they're also rewarding to fight, because they drop a lot of stuff, but still. Right, we go to the next level, and once again, we immediately have an elite enemy nearby. Mime the Nibelung. Also some wereworms, which I seem to remember as being kind of nasty. Yeah. Anyway, they're all right there. I guess I'm... Yeah, I head over this way to just kill the one lonely enemy over there, which I thought for some reason was a flesh golem, I think. I was surprised to find a snow golem there, and yeah, luckily enough though, it did not actually attack me with cold or destroy any of my stuff. Okay, so I wait for that guy, and of course he's a thief. He stole just, you know, a casual 3,700 gold from me and ran away. Nowhere to be seen. Great. Well, I'm heroic and berserking, so I guess I'll, you know, slaughter the next best enemy, but turns out that these wereworms are actually really, really tough creatures. Yeah, and they poison, and they are very tanky, and potion of antidote. I mean, thanks, I guess. Okay, Black Knight and some various other humanoids. Another wereworm here. We are no longer buffed, but I figure, yeah, can't berserk again. But surely we can defeat one of those things by itself, right? It resists acid, of course. Well, just attack it as it is. Okay, it tries to drain our life force, but we are resistant to that, thankfully. And it never does anything, never does any lasting harm. Here we have a bunch of Uruks who were just, well, who are still just hanging back there and don't seem to have any desire to come out of their room. And while they are certainly tankier than most orcs we've encountered so far, they're still not that bad. Okay, some restoration, but wisdom is, you know, worthless to us, so I don't care. What am I doing here? Oh, I found a ninja toe of the defender, yeah. Decided that was probably worth taking because, yeah, as usual, weapons tend to be worth more than ego or anything else. Oh, hey, and there's Mime again. I guess I tried to be clever and shoot him around the corner there, but he shoots me as well, right? Yeah. So I just end up berserking, and I think I end up killing him here as well. Oh, he disenchants me? I feel... Right, okay. He didn't disenchant my equipment, though, but he removed my berserk status. And he's actually pretty tough. Oh yeah, and then he disenchants my Helm of Domination. I take a look to confirm that all that means is that it did remove one armor enchantment, so, you know, not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, I'm a little bit worried about trading more blows with him, because of course it's gonna take a couple more hits, but then thankfully he did not disenchant me again, and I just blast him with an acid bolt or two, which is not enough to kill him, but then he returns and he's dead. Yeah, slightly annoying guy, but could have been a lot worse. Thankfully he only removed 1 point of armor. Not so bad. Okay, so what do we have up there? A Hammer Brother. Right. I decide to confirm that yes, indeed, it is just the Super Mario enemy. Why would it not be in this dungeon? And it just dies in one hit, as most enemies do. I'm almost a bit sad that I never saw it throw any hammers at me, but, well. That's how it is. Get a blue dragon bat that's sleeping, and a berserker. That's the first time I run into one of those. Or a deep one, for that matter. Oh yeah, also I found a Jingasa of the Kobold, which, well, Jingasa is a type of helmet, so I am curious about that one, of course. We might actually have a use for that. So definitely worth dropping something for it. But again, the age-old question, what do we drop? I think I end up dropping the Gauntlets of Slaying here because, yeah, that's a very basic type of enchantment. And obviously not useful to us. Oh, actually no, never mind. I dropped the Barbarian Talisman. Yeah. The one that's fully identified that I know is not going to be useful to me. +2 to strength and fear resistance. Yeah. And now I fight the deep one. And yeah, we traded some blows. Relatively tanky, and it poisons, but thankfully that doesn't do much to me, so not a huge deal. Wouldn't want to encounter a bunch of those, though. Level feeling is the luck is turning, though, so that is interesting. Apparently there's something relatively powerful around. Detection does not reveal anything from there, though, so we keep looking. Saw some sort of demon. I think another demonite. Oh, yeah, a lesser hellbeast. Right. So there is this greater hellbeast, right? That's there is a joke enemy that sometimes shows up in super early dungeon levels and just looks intimidating, but is really just annoying. It just spams you with all kinds of messages, but does not actually deal any damage, and can also not be killed. I think you can try to fight it, but I don't know that you can ever deal damage to it. Definitely not at a low level. But yeah, this is the. Did I mention that enemy I was just talking about is called the Greater Hellbeast, right? This one is the Lesser Hellbeast, but this one's actually dangerous. Right. I think the enemy that was shouting there is just the Demonite here. One of those weird enemies that are kind of treated almost like elite enemies, but not really. I don't know. I'm waiting here for it to come. And I think it will eventually. Yep. Of course it breathes frost, destroys one of my speed potions. Oh well. We have plenty. I mean, we have a decent amount. So I'm not too worried about that. But obviously, it's always annoying when it happens. But also, unfortunately, pretty much unavoidable. Right, so I tentatively approach this thing. I'm thinking that this is probably what's causing the bad feeling. So, you know, I speed up and I berserk. Not sure why I did not also use heroism. I guess I figured, I mean, it's tough, but it's not an elite enemy, right? It's just a tough, normal enemy. So, surely we don't need to do all three things to make our fighting better. Kind of silly in hindsight, because, yeah, this thing actually is quite tough. It is taking damage, but it is indeed crushing us and dealing quite a bit of damage. I'm checking its speed here. It can destroy walls just like the Greater Hellbeast. And we're trading blows. And I try to, you know, try this strategy, I suppose, if you want to call it that, of running away from it, forcing it to, you know, come after me, and then attacking it and hoping that I am so much faster than it is that it will not be able to retaliate immediately. It does not really work. I take a bunch of hits in return, but it, yeah, it looks like I'm about to win, and then eventually it actually starts fleeing, and yeah. I did take a lot of damage, and it brought me pretty far down, but I figured I was still relatively safe. I could have started chugging potions. I was berserking, so teleporting away or even using my staff were not options, so it was definitely a risk, and yeah, it was a little bit scary, but I ended up killing it for what it's worth. Actually, I didn't even pay attention to how much experience it was worth. Did we kill it? Wait, yeah, it's already dead here. Okay, 3.18k, 3.17. Okay, so down to 2.93k required, so math, oh god, is that like 240 experience or something? Maybe? 240? No, wait, it's more. No, it's not, wait. 200, yeah, no, 240, right? Okay. So a decent amount, I guess. Probably not worth almost dying for, but you know. Right, we got air hounds. I'm briefly trying to remember what those do and whether they're going to be susceptible to lightning. But yeah, I look at them and then I remember, yeah, okay, air actually in this case means poison. So they're basically not dangerous to me at all. But also, I did try zapping them and it, once again, didn't really do much. I have yet to actually see this lightning rod be particularly effective against anything. But yeah. So I continue exploring a little bit to see if the level feeling will actually update, and you know, just to have confirmation whether the dangerous thing was in fact that hellbeast I slew. Surely it must have been. That was orders of magnitude tougher than anything else on this floor. Way tougher, way more dangerous than most elites. But yeah, no new level feeling yet, so I might as well just keep going. Presence of monsters, samurai. What else? Giant scorpion. But yeah, that's definitely the first samurai we face. It does use its long-reaching melee attack, just like a samurai character does. And then it died. Because it's ultimately just a human, and we are a 5-headed hydra. Bar chainmail of protection, with some pretty decent protection, I suppose. I figure that this is probably going to sell for a decent amount, and I think this, yeah, this is where I dropped the gauntlets of slaying, because surely those are not going to be worth as much. We got a pink jelly, which I haven't encountered before, so once again, I'm playing it safe with this unknown jelly creature, which is thankfully not immune to poison. Oh, right, yeah. Over here we have a potion mimic, actually, which I decided to just run up to and kill, because of course it is pretty fragile. Oh, the luck is turning. Interesting, right. So we did get an updated feeling, but... Wait, or did we? Or did I just check? I think I just checked, right? We did not get an update. So is there still anything dangerous left? No. There's the update. It's a boring place now. Yeah, makes sense. So the Hell Beast was the only thing that was making that was marking this place as dangerous as it was. Okay, so we head down the stairs. And immediately we're literally right next to Zoopy the Cube King. A gelatin king from the 3rd dimension. Get it? From the 3rd dimension because it's a cube. Anyway, this is bad news. I figured, and in hindsight I probably should have just left the floor immediately. I probably will do just that when I, next time I encounter this thing, because even just by itself, it would have been bad enough. I did not know that it was going to just summon a bunch of gelatinous cubes. Like, multiple gelatinous cubes. Thankfully, I was able to run away and into this corridor here, so I'm only facing one of them at a time. The boss himself first, and yeah, he's just... I mean, I activated everything I could. But he has so many hit points. And yeah, I think I was looking at what happened to my stuff there. See, I retreated back there. Right, still. Drinking potions, speeding up. Failed to use it properly? Wait. Oh, did I not realize that I did not actually start berserking? Oh, I think I might not have realized. Whoops. That might have made things easier, I guess, maybe? But yeah, anyway. Well, it's a giant gelatinous cube, and it's even tankier than they usually are. So it takes forever to actually kill. There's no way I'm going to destroy it with any of my range attacks. I mean, yeah, I got nothing there in that regard. I can only bite at it and hope for the best. But yeah, immediately I'm getting dissolved. A teleportation scroll is destroyed. And then, yeah, just a couple of attacks in, it happens. My Iron Helm is damaged, and my Staff of Cure Wounds that I only recently acquired is just outright destroyed. That hurts. Yeah, that's what happens when you fight gelatinous cube creatures, and especially their king. But what can you do? I'm getting more dissolved. My items get damaged, get damaged and damaged and damaged again. Thankfully, the Crown of Telepathy seems to be immune to acid. But, yeah, not most of my equipment. Another scroll is gone. Iron Crown of Might is damaged. Yep, more scrolls disappearing. Right, I have finally slain Zoopy, but at what cost? Jesus. I mean, I didn't take a ton of damage, at least. I wasn't in danger of dying, but I lost quite a bit. I lost, like, 13 armor, at least. A bunch of scrolls. My Staff of Healing. Yeah. And thankfully, the gelatinous cubes have a much weaker acid. They cannot actually damage my equipment. It seems like they try a couple of times. I think I lose a couple more scrolls, but I do have so many that I can afford that at least. Yeah. Right, so I just finish off the last couple of cubes there. Oh hey, hello there. Fellow four-headed hydra. Well, actually, I'm a five-headed hydra, so I'm just clearly superior. And so we just kill that thing relatively quickly and easily. Hydras drop a lot of money. I guess we are canonically rich. Makes sense. Okay, well, I suppose if nothing else, we did get a lot of loot out of it, but I mean, what are the odds of actually finding something? Oh hey, look at that, a new Staff of Cure Wounds. I mean, you can't make that up. What are the odds of that? I mean, yeah, they did drop a bunch of loot because they were gelatinous cubes, but that's just amazing. I go to the message log and scroll up just to confirm that I did actually, yeah, I did in fact destroy my old staff. That was a 7 charge. So the new one is only 6 charges, but hey, I mean, I take it. It's that is an extremely unlikely turn of events. And it kind of makes up for, you know, how terrible this whole encounter was, at least to an extent. We also find a ton of money just lying on the ground. So, you know, all things considered, yeah, my stuff was heavily disenchanted. I lost so much armor. But I figure, you know, I can re-enchant things. It's gonna cost me a lot of money, but it can be done. I guess, yeah, here I'm looking at everything, and yeah, the Iron Crown of Might is just unenchanted at this point. Well, Iron Helm of Domination, unenchanted. I guess the Crown of Telepathy and Cloak of Mary are actually resistant to disenchantment, or specifically to acid. But yeah. Right. Am I still looking at it? Yes. Okay. Okay, and now we can actually start exploring this place. Surely we must have already dealt with the worst of it. Honestly, I don't even remember if there was anything else nasty here, but yeah, maybe I should pause again, and I'll let you know if there was indeed anything else here. Right, okay, so I actually ended up getting another special feeling about this level as I was exploring this large room here. What happened in the meantime is that I actually found a scroll of remove curse, which I just read. So I'm once again uncursed at least. And I found... well, there's our special item. The Court Armor Last Drop. Unfortunately, it's cursed. So I decided to just leave it, because, I mean, it might still sell for some money, but it's only a Court Armor. So really weak armor type as a base item. And of course it's cursed, and it's also completely useless to us as an item. So yeah, just not worth it, I figured. And I assumed that was the artifact that the level feeling was all about. It definitely was an artifact. Yeah, anyway, what else happened? I found a fur cloak of electricity. And I decided to pick it up just on the off chance that it might be... It's not fully identified, so it has some kind of properties that we don't know about. So, you know, since it is technically something we can use, I decided to take it, and I dropped the useless lightning rod for it. There we have a slimy jelly. I don't know if I even fought one of those before, but I just walk up to it and kill it, because, yeah, everything that isn't a gelatinous cube, but in the slime family, tends to just die. Yeah, here, once again, like with those sleep potions earlier, I see these these mushrooms of disease, and the game does not auto-destroy those, and I figure, I wonder once again, is there anything I'm missing here? Is there any way that these could possibly be useful? And I, you know, take a look. You take 10d10 damage, and it decreases your strength when you eat it. Yeah, that sounds like it could be useful. What the heck? But yeah, this time around, I'm just, you know, I'm just fed up with the game's shenanigans and just auto-destroy those from here on out. And yeah, it is actually now a boring place. We did find the artifact, even though we didn't take it. We left it on the ground, but just identifying it is enough, I suppose. We actually run into another fellow hydra. Don't know why I paused there for so long. Right, I suppose I figured they are still somewhat tough. And they should not be resistant to acid. Poison, yes, but acid... I mean, I'm not resistant to acid naturally, so a wild hydra should also not be. And in fact, it's not. What am I looking at here, actually? I don't know. Wait, what am I looking at? Not actually sure. Yeah, I think I was just AFK for a moment there on the on the character screen. Anyway, I just kept looking around. Nothing exciting happening here. We know the place is boring, so I guess I'm just looking for the exit. And in a rare display of reason, I decided to not kill that frosty jelly there that I saw. Yeah, and hey, look at that. Level 27 is the lowest level. Grendel lives on this level as the keeper of the caves. Oh god, things are glitching out here. That happens sometimes when I play videos of this in my video player, because I don't know, there's something weird about the way this gets recorded, I suppose. Does not typically tend to cause any such artifacts once it's uploaded to YouTube, thankfully. Yeah, anyway. Seems like it's mostly not been a problem so far, so I guess that's fine. Yeah, anyway, Grendel, huh? That sounds dangerous. It is level 27, dungeon level 27, weird level 27, and not really anywhere close to leveling. Oh, in fact, wait, did I level up? Oh, maybe I did level up. Wait, that's maybe why I looked at my character screen. Yeah, you know what? That might be the case. Whoops, didn't even notice. Right, yeah, anyway, we're level 27 now, and just looking around this place, trying to find the boss. Getting some scrolls back to make up for the ones that we lost. Line of fire, meh. Vampiric Ixixachitl points at you, and we're cursed again. And I also took a lot of damage. So that's great. Also, we discover, or we detect not one, but two boss enemies, none of them Grendel. Another Orc Captain, of course, and the Ghost Q. So I definitely remember seeing before, and like when playing this game previously. Bulldog, well, not much info to be gained from looking at that entry. A Devil Ray of the Depths is this XX whatever, this unpronounceable fish monster. Thankfully, it's not that hard to kill, but yeah, we're definitely taking a lot of damage from it. And we were cursed, so yeah, not amazing. I used my curing staff twice, I think, and yeah, that fully heals me, so that's actually a pretty powerful heal. Shoot acid. It's a rod. Yeah, I mean, offensive rods are just, I talked about it before. I'm sure this is relatively powerful, but you get so few charges. I don't really see how that would ever be particularly good. Right, anyway, I'm moving toward where this ghost was. And, yeah, it's definitely around here somewhere. I can see it there, or rather, I guess I detected it again. Just to make sure it was still around. I'm speeding up. And I think also berserking, because I figure, I mean, it's probably going to attack me any moment. From out of the wall or something. But then I wander around here and it's nowhere to be seen. What the heck? Surely it's hostile. It definitely wasn't friendly, so I guess it's just moving very erratically and not particularly aggressive. And then I thought I saw something moving up here, I guess, and decided to go after that instead. I'm not really sure what I saw, though. Probably just some floor tiles becoming lit and unlit because of my line of sight or something. Anyway, the ghost's still around here, so yeah. I'm not going to leave an elite enemy undefeated. Oh hey, there he is. Yeah, what to do? He's one tile away. Do I shoot him? Nope. I decide to walk towards him, but he just disappears again. Very frustrating. And yeah, now well, actually I'm not currently out of charges, but I only have one more charge left. He is down there now, and he's gone again. And now I don't have any charges of Detect Monster left, so yeah, I just wander at random and hope that he shows up. I think this takes me a while. I'm just gonna go ahead and skip. Yeah, here I figure maybe I should just try resting until I get interrupted by, you know, by the fact that the enemy enters my field of vision. And that actually works. And I hit him, but then he just disappears, and I have no idea how damaged he is. But I can detect... Oh, no, actually I did not rest long enough for the rod to refill, so I just keep resting some more. And he destroys a potion, apparently. And there he is. We get another shot. Yeah, I look at him. He's a little bit... Yeah, he has a little bit more than half hit points. But I just go for it and finally kill the thing. Ugh, what an annoying enemy. Definitely not worth sticking around for. But, you know, you gotta kill everything at least once. Okay. Get some more interesting shapes in this dungeon here. Got a fire giant. That's slightly scary. So I decide to go after the jelly first. Slimy ooze. Which dies easily enough. Pack overflows. We got a warhammer of something of craft, but it's cursed. So yeah, once again. Thanks, but no thanks. Still no sign of Grendel. Okay, something cast a fireball. I can see that the giant is around the corner there. And in this case, the close the door and wait trick works just fine. It's definitely coming after me here. I prepare accordingly. And I don't know, do I wait? I think I waited. It opened the door. And I'm starting to blast it. It did come into melee range. And it attacks with fire. Destroys some things, but it goes down. I took quite a bit of damage though, so fire damage is definitely dangerous. But yeah, all things considered, that went alright. A Wonder Firebolt, makes sense I guess. Bunch of speed potions, definitely happy about that find. And now we get a bunch of orcs. Right, remember all that time ago when we identified an orc captain of some sort? And here's a Shadower, which we fought before, right? We killed one of those and actually just one-shot it? I could have sworn? Or was that something else? Anyway, this thing is just orders of magnitude more dangerous and also disenchants me a lot. What the heck? You know, runs away multiple times and returns, and I eventually kill it. I know I did. And then it was a disenchanter beast all along. Did we know that those can just shapeshift and disguise themselves as something else? So I guess Shadowers really aren't that bad. But disenchanter beasts are. At least pretty tanky, and yeah, I also took quite a bit of damage, and I don't know if my equipment was more damaged again. I don't know if there was anything left to damage at this point. No, my armor class is still the same, so I think at least yeah, nothing happened there. Right, and then I buffed and prepared and waited for the orcs, and Bulldog actually came first, but these orc diggers actually removed the little bit of cover that I was intending to hide behind, so I retreated into the tunnel instead, and that worked pretty well. I actually did take a lot of damage there once again, but the boss is almost dead. I blast him with some stinking clouds, and I think, yeah, that took him out. And now the rest is just regular orcs. Just a matter of, you know, finishing them off one at a time. I'm surprised that half of them are just still hanging out in that other room and don't seem to be interested in joining the fight at all. They're coming after me, and a bunch of them are just running around randomly, maybe terrified because I blasted them with a stinking cloud earlier. Either way. I guess I healed up, yeah, used some staff charges, and there's a Snaga Sapper. They just blow up from a distance, very good. And we collect the spoils. Deal with the stragglers. Haven't found anything good yet, but okay. Those enemies are definitely aware of me. They just have no interest in coming to me. So, and we're still fast, so I don't want to just rest and waste the remaining duration. But then, the moment I walk around the corner, I'm no longer fast. But then I decide to just walk forward anyway and just kill them because, you know, how bad could they be? They're just orcs. Come on. Yeah, not sure what type of orc that one is, but I guess I just didn't feel like running after him, so I just blast him instead, and he dies, and that's that. Getting hungry, just eating. My elvish waybread at this point. I have so many. I mean, I have enough. Stop trying to be particularly efficient. I mean, whenever I'm not full and I see just some regular rations on the ground, I am going to eat those, of course, but yeah. Not going to try to preserve my good food for as long as possible at any cost. Okay, still hunting those last couple of orcs, some uruks actually. That's another lightning rod, no thanks. I think I'm done with those things. Failed to use the device, okay. And we detect some ogres, actually, I notice, okay. Ogre mage, and so on and so forth. And now, some people might think, oh, a group of ogres. Well, Grendel is an ogre, so that's probably where the boss of the dungeon is. And, well, you would be correct, of course, and technically, I know that Grendel is an ogre, but somehow, when I saw those ogres here, all I thought was, oh hey, look, first a group of orcs with a boss, now a group of ogres. That's interesting. Maybe they're gonna have some sort of boss among them as well. I did not associate that at all with Grendel, so I just walk up to these guys relatively, you know, unconcerned, I guess. I kill a couple of ogres, and then suddenly Grendel is right there. Hey, how you doing? Well, I do what the only thing I can do. I buff up. And I am extremely concerned quite quickly because, yeah, I took a ton of damage from just a handful of attacks. I look at the character, at the monster log there, to see if there's anything helpful in there. Not really. Grendel is relatively fast. I'm slightly faster, so I can kind of outrun him. But yeah, the amount of damage I've taken and the basically non-existent amount of damage I've dealt with the 1 or 2 times I've tried attacking him are not particularly encouraging. And one particularly bad aspect here, or one one bad aspect of many, is that Grendel has a retaliation aura, so he actually, yeah, just retaliates for melee attacks, which is kind of bad for me, extra bad for me, because it's literally the only way of dealing damage to him that I have. He's resistant to poison, and yeah. I guess here I'm starting to get a little bit desperate. Thankfully, I did not berserk. I mean, doing so might help a little bit, but it really doesn't seem like I have much of a chance taking this guy out in melee. I mean, he's just hitting so much harder than I do, and he's way tankier than I am. And my ranged options are unfortunately basically non-existent. But yeah, at least while not berserking, I still, reserve the option to, use items to try and get away, I guess, worst case scenario. What I did there is I remembered that I had the, that I have a fear ability, right? I can make enemies run away, and I figured I might as well give that a shot. I gave it a couple of shots, and it actually worked eventually. Grendel did run away, and I figured, he's resistant to poison, but maybe not acid, and well, he's not immune to it, but he also shrugs it off mostly. I did manage to get some damage in that way, but obviously I was also going to run out of charges eventually, before long. I might be able to get him down to maybe half health with those acid bolts, but yeah, not really a lot more than that. And then of course, he's basically back, almost caught back up to me again, because our speed difference is not that great. So occasionally he's going to be able to catch up to me, and I try a couple more times here to scare him again, but it just doesn't work. He must be very resistant to it, and I just got very lucky to have it work on the second or third attempt ever. And yeah, I decided to just escape, because, I mean, at the very least it's not a quest, so running away from here is not going to, does not fail a quest, or I can always return later after, I suppose, just gaining a bunch more levels and just being more powerful to the point where I can defeat Grendel in melee, where I can out-Grendel the Grendel, or I suppose the only other option would be to bring enough ranged options that I can, ways to keep him away from me, I suppose, and deal enough damage at range, so I don't even have to go into melee. But yeah, for now, I don't think there was anything I could possibly do to kill that guy, so running away was the only option other than just allowing him to kill me and end this run so I can actually move on to the next character, which, part of me wants to do that, but another part also wants to see just how far I can take this, and how much more powerful this Hydra is going to become. I mean, I can only assume that at level 30 we're going to see another evolution, I guess, an additional head, more equipment slots, maybe another evolution of our attack, in addition to just having more attacks. So yeah, I would like to see that, but of course leveling up has slowed down dramatically, and yeah, well, we made some progress as we cleared most of this dungeon. We did, of course, not quite finish it, which is a little bit unsatisfying, but at least we escaped with our life. So, there is that. And now I just sell stuff and look for, for useful items in the shops. I'm not quite sure what I'm staring at this for so long. Maybe considering buying more teleportation or Word of Recall, but no, we have plenty. Looking at my equipment, yeah, heavily disenchanted. Alright, I just, I figure I might as well just equip some of these things that are potentially interesting, perhaps, to see if I can identify any any qualities in them, but not really. I mean, it's not going to fully identify any of them. We're learning some things, but yeah, ultimately, I will have to research them if I really want to know all about them. Cloak of Electricity has something that I don't recognize immediately, but also something I don't know at all. An aura of electricity, yeah. So I guess that's what makes a cloak of electricity. So it will just occasionally deal electricity damage to enemies in melee, which, you know, is kind of whatever. Not really what we need. Right. So we try... What do we try? The Helmet of Sam? Samwise? No? Yes? Wait, what? Yeah, okay. So we do try that one, and we learn that it's +1 speed, dex, and negative strength. Wonderful. Right, we didn't know that before. Oh, and in fact, actually, we know all about it, don't we? Yeah, there are no question marks, so that's all it does. Yeah, unfortunately, all the Hobbit equipment seems to just come with a strength penalty. I'm not really sure why that makes sense. I mean, it makes you more Hobbit-like by making you less strong, but shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't their equipment actually make up for their weaknesses and buff their strength? Would that make a lot more sense? Well, it's not what it is like, unfortunately. So, yeah, looking at this one and thinking that, you know, probably not. Because I really don't like my... I really don't want my strength to be reduced even further. I've been trying to boost my strength as much as possible the entire time, and now I'm just getting equipment that reduces it? That doesn't seem right. Anyway, I just decide that at this point I should fully identify, and yeah, all of these elemental amulets are just not great. Some have activatable abilities, but, you know, that's actually even worse than an offensive rod, because these only have one charge, and they almost certainly take longer to recharge than a rod does. So, yeah, not really much of a point in firing a single projectile of any kind and then having to wait 100 turns for it to recharge. Right, then we also have the Jingasa of the Kobold, which gives +1 to strength, -1 to charisma, which I don't really care about, and some poison resistance, which, well, we are already naturally resistant to it, but it's something at least. And, you know, this also has +5 to damage, actually. Okay armor, nothing to write home about, but not terrible. And, yeah, it actually increases my strength. So... definitely worth considering, I think. Come on. Right, I guess that's all the things identified? Maybe? Yeah, we don't want to go here. I think what am I looking for? Well, okay. Resting and eating is a good idea, probably. Guess I just remind myself what other shops exist around here, and yeah, checking out the ones that I haven't checked before. I guess we sell, yeah, those elemental amulets, including the one that gives me cold resistance, but, you know, I'm not going to equip something that gives me just 1 resistance. It just isn't worth it. I mean, if anything, I would be using the one that gives both fire and cold and the ability that I'm not interested in. But yeah, even that one does not really strike me as being worth using one of my slots for. I mean, if I had, yeah, if I don't find anything better by level 30 and I actually do grow an additional head and get an additional equipment slot, an additional amulet slot specifically, I guess I can see myself using that even for something basic, like just an amulet of cold resist, just so I finally have it. But of course I would vastly prefer something like any kind of ego or artifact item that also provides cold resistance in addition to anything else. Anyway, thankfully they had a bunch of Cure Serial Wounds potions here. I'm happily restocking on those. Right, I did buy Remove Curse as well, because we did of course get cursed after I got rid of my curses previously. What am I examining here? What are you going to examine past me? Nothing? Okay. I guess I was just looking. Yeah, we sell that electricity cloak. That's not going to be useful to us. I suppose I decided that I was going to replace the cloak of telepathy, the crown of telepathy, because yeah, it's not real telepathy. While it was occasionally somewhat useful to be able to track some enemies, it's always a bit weird to only track some enemies, you know, because again, it paints a misleading picture sometimes. And here, I wonder if I should maybe just hold on to this, put it in the stash, if nothing else. Because, you know, it is kind of special. Yeah, I decide against selling it. Take another look. And it's too bad that it doesn't provide anything else, any other resistances or anything like that. But it does improve speed a little bit. And it has the same, you know, just like Mary's cloak, it also offsets the reduced strength by giving a slight little combat bonus. Plus, we also have the goblin or kobold helmet or whatever it is, and yeah, that one offsets that. That one gives us the point of strength that we're losing by using Sam's cloak, and then Sam's helmet, Sam's leather cap, whatever. And yeah, so I'm actually replacing the Domination helm, which is only giving us, well, used to give us decent armor until it was completely disenchanted, and otherwise it's only giving us charisma, which, you know, doesn't matter at all. So yeah, I figure with both Sam's cap and the Goblin cap, it kind of works out. Strength is not, it is still lower than it used to be at one point, but it's, you know, it's looking okay. I guess I still hold on to that helmet just in case, and I look at my stats just to convince myself further that I did not actually cripple myself too much. Let's see here. Regen has gone up a little bit more. We still have 2 instances of free action, 3 instances of extra speed at this point. Resistances are looking okay, except for the cold gap there. We definitely have good poison resistance. Yeah. And then I scroll further down and discover, wait for it, our damage. Look at that. It went up from 80 something to apparently 112 now. Like, how? Why? Is that just, my best guess is that it's from the +5 to damage from the goblin cap or goblin helmet, or is it goblin or kobold? One or the other. So I guess that single-handedly buffed our damage by quite a bit, even though we did lose some strength. So I guess overall we're still looking pretty good, actually. I don't know if the extra poison damage also went up, but the base physical damage, I suppose, definitely did. Also, crits are up to 1.11 times damage, I suppose. Not really sure what affects that at all. I'm also taking a look at quests and monster kills, which I haven't really looked at so far. The most powerful thing is still Karis the Power Slave. Well, Grendel would definitely be at the top of the list if we had actually defeated him, but yeah, it doesn't seem like that is going to happen anytime soon. There are a lot of stats to potentially look at here, but yeah, I think this is where I'm going to just wrap things up. I don't think I do anything really meaningful anymore. Oh, okay. I hadn't checked here before, but they don't actually... Well, okay, I think, yeah, I end up buying the Potion of Resistance, even though it's a bit expensive, but, you know, might as well add an extra one to the stack, since I already have it in the inventory. And then I also had, right over here, buy one piece of Elvish Waybread, because why not? Not really, well, I mean, we're always looking for a better light source if we could find one, but quite happy with my current lantern, of course. Here I just, yeah, confirm that we still have the quest, and then also confirm that enchantments are ridiculously expensive here. 18k to exchange to enchant from 0 to +7. Yeah, thanks but no thanks. How about this place? Okay, I mean, this is cheaper, but I'm fairly certain that I've seen another Paladin's Guild that was cheaper before. I briefly wonder if the price might have gone up for some reason and it used to be cheaper. Maybe it's something I did caused it to go up again? Could it be because I used to have more charisma? Then I think no. I think last time I checked, that was in a different place. Which one was it? Not entirely sure, but let's just try Telmora. I think I seem to remember that was where I was previously, and the place does in fact have a Paladin's Guild, so you know, might as well check. I guess I'm also checking the shops here real quick. I guess I did do a little bit more. Enchant armor. Potion of Charisma. Yeah, obviously we don't have that kind of money, especially not for that potion, but it's always worth checking. No good staffs or amulets here. Yep, nothing useful here, unfortunately. Cure serious wounds. Nope, that's not the right type. I guess I'll buy the extra potions of heroism though. Might as well. I mean, it's not like we really need more, but you know, until we have that cold resistance, we will still lose more potions to cold attacks, so might as well have as many as possible. Right, also, yeah, this place is actually so much cheaper. Like, what the heck? Fully enchant just costs a couple thousand. I mean, yeah, sure, just go ahead and do it. Get those back up to +7. In fact, since I replaced several helmets here, or several items, we actually only had the our original Iron Crown of Might to re-enchant and bring us back up to 66 armor. So, yeah. Basically fixed, slightly improved perhaps. I mean, according to the character sheet, we're dealing more damage than we used to, so that's nice. Resistances are doing fine, except, again, for not having cold resist at all. But overall, we're doing okay. I mean, we leveled up a little bit. I guess we did gain 2 levels, 2.5 or so. But yeah, it's definitely slowed down. It's definitely disappointing that I was not able to take out Grendel there, but you know, that's what it is. And I suppose that's that. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm actually just gonna, yeah, I should pause the video here. I know I idled on this screen for a while to give myself a chance to do a bit of an outro. Right, yeah, about this about this experimental style of video. I mean, I don't know how this turned out, if this was this ended up being as enjoyable to watch as just a regular live commentary. I mean, I guess it's slightly different, but you know, I don't know. Maybe it's not too different. The thing is, though, I mean, it basically took me twice as long to make, so that's definitely a disadvantage. I was able to just, you know, play more casually without live commentary, and I, you know, was able to listen to music. But now having to sit down and actually do the voiceover is obviously, yeah, I mean, an extra step that I usually like to skip. Yeah, I'm not really sure if this ended up being better. Maybe I would have been better off just recording this the same way I have been. And I think that's what I'm probably going to continue doing. I mean, it worked, I think. I was wondering if I would be able to do this as well as I, you know, or if I would be able to do this, period. I think I managed to do it all right. It's a bit weird, but only because I'm not used to doing this. But yeah, also, I don't really think it ended up being better. I guess if I really would just want to play casually, I'll just start a new character file or something. But yeah, I'll just continue playing this character if I do on video. And I suppose at this point, I'm determined to just take it as far as I possibly can. I would like to take it at least to level 30 to see the next evolution, the next evolutionary step, I suppose, for our hydra. But yeah, the experience against Grendel did not make me particularly hopeful for, you know, upcoming bosses. I mean, I suppose we are level 27 now, so we can definitely attempt those level 25 quests that we have. And then there's the level 18 Troll Cave, where we also have a quest. It's a level 30 quest though, so that's a bit sus, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Yeah, and other than that, I don't know that we really have all that many options left. Definitely feels like I've kind of, yeah, well, leveling up has slowed down, and just I definitely don't feel quite as powerful anymore as I used to as this character. I feel like the power curve has kind of flattened out, and we're definitely, you know, starting to run into more problematic enemies, and we don't really have all that many tools to deal with them. It's the problem. So yeah, I wonder if this character really is particularly viable in the long term. I mean, who knows? Maybe the next evolution is going to make us significantly more powerful, but I kind of have my doubts. But yeah, we'll see how far I can take this. I mean, again, I had this idea that I wanted to just briefly check out various monster classes. But yeah, I mean, if the character doesn't just happen to die at a convenient time, I'm not just going to kill him or her. You know, that doesn't feel right. So yeah, I'll just keep going, and hopefully people are going to be interested in watching or listening while doing something else. That's fine too, of course. Either way, done rambling. I thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.